Life comes at you fast, don't it? See, I remember just a few short weeks ago, the New Orleans Saints came into Arlington, Texas, along with their rambunctious group of fans, and the boys had a parade after soundly putting foots into our asses, which, I mean, hey, however you want to celebrate your victories, go ahead. But you know, Cowboys fans, we don't have parades in away team cities because we try to act like we've actually been there. But the Saints fans, they had themselves a good old time. They thought they won a Super Bowl, so much so that their own team has not won a game since they beat us in Dallas. And like I said, life comes at you fast, don't it? Now, all of a sudden, Alvin Kamara has formally requested a trade from the New Orleans Saints, and there's 6 teams that have already reached out and inquired about Alvin Kamara, and hopefully by now you've figured out at least one of those teams. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be doing this particular show. Let's get right into it, as the Cowboys should definitely make this move. I don't care what none of y'all say. Do it, Jerry. Do it. Now, before any of you guys fix your mouths to say, oh, we don't need Alvin Kamara. He's a... Hey, beggars can't be choosers. Y'all can't be sitting out here getting mad because the Cowboys ain't doing nothing, but then when a player that's better than any of the guys that we currently have on our roster right now at that position becomes available, y'all don't want them to go get him because he's not like the optimal choice for you. Like, what y'all got going on, man? Alvin Kamara has formally requested a trade from the Saints. Our sources have confirmed the following teams have contacted the Saints: the Dallas Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Denver Broncos, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I'm going to say this. If I had to put my money on who I think will actually get Alvin Kamara, I think it'll actually be a team that's really trying to win a Super Bowl this year, the Kansas City Chiefs or like a Buffalo Bills. But for the sake of just a little bit of hope, y'all, look, we all know Jerry them probably ain't gonna do this, and if they do, I'm gonna be damn surprised, and I'm gonna be happy. I don't care what none of y'all say, because y'all are so quick to talk about who's washed and who's not, but then if you actually go and look at what Alvin Kamara is doing this season on a New Orleans Saints team that has since proven, since beating the Cowboys, that they're not very good at all. They've lost every game since beating us. Alvin Kamara is actually having one of his better seasons that he's had in years, and that's kind of surprising, actually. If you look at it, Alvin Kamara is facing stacked boxes, which means 8 or more defenders in the box 25% of the time that he's in the backfield. That is the second highest rate in his entire career. The only year that eclipsed that was 2021. Here's the thing, his rush success rate is the 3rd highest in his entire career, which means he's giving you a positive outcome or a favorable outcome on 41% of his rushes. But the best part about Alvin Kamara and why he's one of the few running backs that could possibly find some running room behind this putrid offensive line, because I know everybody was going to say, bro, our offensive line, Mike Solari, I don't care what running back is back there, they're probably not going to do as well. And that is probably true. That's why you need a guy that can make people miss. And Alvin Kamara has forced 17 missed tackles this season so far on 91 carries. His missed tackle rate is 18.9%. That means almost 20% of the time somebody's trying to tackle him, they're going to miss. The other really good thing about Alvin Kamara is he's a great receiver out the backfield as a running back. In fact, he's probably one of the most dangerous weapons out of the backfield as a receiver. He leads all running backs with 67 receiving yards over expected and 61 yards after the catch over expected this season. So those long plays we've been seeing from CeeDee Lamb, right? I'm just kind of trying to contextualize this for y'all. Those long plays we've seen from CeeDee Lamb where Dak throwing him the ball and then he makes a defender miss and he ends up running down the sideline for an extra 20, 30 yards. That's the type of stuff Alvin Kamara is doing, but he's in the backfield. So that's the type of running back that you're going to need if your offensive line is a little leaky. A guy that can make people miss in the backfield, but also is still dangerous enough to where he can be a true weapon in the pass game. And remember, he just put up 115 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys when they played us. So y'all can't say he washed. He clearly was not washed in that game. He was putting belts to ass. Now, I will say this. The one thing that's concerning about Alvin Kamara, and why you could easily say he doesn't fit what the Cowboys do, is because he is an outside the tackle tackles runner, okay? He is not someone who's going to be running inside the tackles a lot, or should be running inside the tackles a lot in the Cowboys. The Cowboys seem to love doing that, right? They hate doing outside runs or anything else, or stretch plays or anything. So that is the one thing that kind of concerns me about Alvin Kamara, is he's had majority of his success on this season. Pretty much all of his success on this season has been when he's run outside the tackles. He's averaging 4.1 yards per carry outside the tackles, has gotten 4 touchdowns as opposed to 2 touchdowns and 3.5 yards per carry inside the tackle. And in New Orleans, they ran him 84 times outside the tackles versus 27 times inside the tackles. So that should kind of let you know his best usage right there. So it would really be up to the Cowboys coaching staff to utilize that man the way he needs to be used. Now, there is one big bugaboo about Alvin Kamara, and that's the fact that my man, he hasn't really stayed healthy throughout his entire career. He has not played a full season, not a single time, y'all. So that is a little bit concerning from the standpoint of, if you really want a player that's going to help you towards the playoffs, and when it really matters, you want someone that's going to be healthy. And Alvin Kamara has not proven that he can stay healthy in his NFL career. So far this year, he's played, I think, all the games for the Saints. But throughout his career, he's traditionally missed at least a few games during the season. If he were to get traded at this point, chances are he would likely miss those few games on the other team's behalf. So that is something that you have to look out for. But since Jerry Jones wants to go about saving running backs and saving Ezekiel Elliott and saving Dalvin Cook, since you're saving guys, you can save someone that's actually a real legitimate bona fide weapon still, and it's proven at this point. It's proven. Alvin Kamara is still a legitimate weapon right now. You can save a guy like that and have him really ready to go towards the latter half of the season and kind of just spoon feed him a little bit to get him in the flow of the offense throughout the course of the season, right? But the Cowboys ain't gonna do it. So we doing all this talking and we doing all this analysis and looking at Alvin Kamara and all this stuff. The Cowboys ain't gonna do it. So y'all all just wasted roughly about 8 to 9 minutes with your boy.
For real though, it really could not hurt if we got Alvin Kamara. The Saints are only asking for a 3rd round pick. I don't know if I would give him a 3rd round pick for an Asian running back, but the Cowboys got a whole bunch of 5th round picks coming in this year because we lost a lot of guys in free agency. We got a lot of picks this year. They can package them joints up and figure something out, bro. Bring Alvin Kamara in. I don't care if it's just for a season. Bring him in, bro. Give us something. Give us something to be excited about.
So at the end of the day, we still the same old Cowboys. This probably ain't happening, y'all. It was fun to talk about it, though, wasn't it? See y'all next week.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.